Hello everyone. Let me go over some sample questions in chapter 5. Alright, number 1. Let me use the pens. Alright, number 1. If Thomas invests $100 in an account that pays 5% simple interest, okay, or how much will he have at the end of 5 years? Now remember, simple interest. If the interest is simple, okay, the interest you earn every year will be based on the original principal only. So if you invest $100 right now, at the end of year 5, the future value will simply equal to the original principal, okay, plus the interest every year, okay, times the number of years. So if you have 5 years, times the interest every year, which is $100, times the interest per year, which is 5%, 0.05, and you will have the answer equal to $125. Okay, if the interest is simple, after 5 years you will receive only $125. Now, okay, now let me remind you the formula for the future value if the interest is simple. Okay, future value at time t, okay, equal to the present value original principal plus the number of years, which is t, times the interest per year, which is present value, times the interest rate, which is r, okay, r%. Alright, let's go to second question. Alpha Bank will pay 4% interest compounded annually, and Beta Bank will pay 4% interest. Which one of the following is true if you invest $1,000 in each bank for 5 years? Alright, so let's take a look. If for Alpha Bank, if the interest is simple, and Alpha Bank pays 4% compounded annually. Alright, so what it means is this is a compound interest after 5 years. Okay, if you invest $1,000 in here, after 5 years you will get 1,000 times 1.04, okay, raised to the power of 5, and equal to $1,216.65. Okay, alright, let me get more space. Alright, for the Beta Bank, okay, Beta Bank pays 4% simple interest. So you have 5 years, okay, 1,000 here. After 5 years you will get the original principal 1,000 plus all the simple interest for the 5 years, which is 5 times 1,000 times 4%, and equal to $1,200. Alright, now so let's take a look at A. Alpha Bank will pay you a total of $200 interest over 5 years. Now obviously it's not true, because over 5 years you have total interest is $216.65. okay, so this is not correct for Alpha Bank, okay, because you invest $1,000 today, after 5 years you get $1,216.65, so the total interest would be $216.65. so A is not correct. Beta Bank will pay you more interest over 5 years than Alpha Bank. it is not true. Okay, Beta Bank pays you only $200 interest over 5 years, and Alpha Bank pays you $216.65. Alpha Bank will pay you a total of $216.65 in simple interest. No, $216 and 65, it is a compound interest. Okay, and finally the Alpha Bank will pay you $16.65 interest on interest. Okay, which is true because the future value, okay, this is the future value if the interest is compounded. This is the future value if the interest is not compounded. So obviously the interest on interest, okay, would be equal to 16.65 minus $1,200 and equal to 16.65. Okay, so 16.65 here is interest on interest. Okay, alright, let's move to question number 3. Martha wants to have $10,000 10 years from now. How much does she have to deposit today if she could earn 8% compounded annually? Alright, so very simple. How much should be present value if you want to have $10,000 10 years from now, and the interest for every year is 8%. Okay, so the present value would be equal to the future value $10,000 divided by 1 plus the interest, which is 8% raised to the power time, which is 10, and the answer is equal to 4,631.93. Okay, so what it means is you have to deposit today 4,631.93 in order to have $10,000 in 10 years if the interest is 8% compounded annually. The same thing here. Alright, Jim has $1,650 today and he wants to have $3,200, okay, to buy a vehicle. Alright, so how long is the time if the interest rate is 7% compounded annually? So looking at the formula we had before, the number of time is equal to natural log of future value, okay, divided by present value divided by the natural log of 1 plus the interest. Okay, so the formula here, natural log of future value, which is 3,200, divided by present value, which is 1,650, divided by the natural log of 1 plus the interest, which is 0.075, and the answer is 9.16. Okay, so it takes about 9.16 years for $1,650 to become 3,200 okay, with the interest is 7.5% compounded annually. Alright, number 5. You are looking for the interest rate, okay, or you are looking for the return. So currently the company pays dividend $1.6 per share, and in 3 years the company wants to pay $2.4 per share, okay, and what should be the rate, the increase, the increasing rate every year, so that 1.6 will become 2.4 in 3 years. So the rate, that it is equal to equal to the future value divided by the present value raised to the power 1 over time, which is 1 over time, okay, minus 1. So future value equal to 2.4, okay, divided by present value, which is 1.6 raised to the power 1 over t, which is 1 over 3 minus 1, and the answer is equal to equal to let me check, 14.47%, okay, 14.47%, okay. So what it means is the dividend has to grow at the rate of 14.47% in order to become $2.4 per share in 3 years, okay. Alright, number 6. If you borrow $10,000 today, okay, and you have to pay all the principal and interest in one lump sum 4 years from now, okay, so how much you have to pay in total? So it's very simple. 10,000, it is asking you for future value, so 10,000 times 1 plus 0.0825 raised to the power 4, and this is equal to 13,731.30, okay. So in year 4 you have to pay back the principal and all the interest, and the lump sum you have to pay is $731.30, okay. Now number 7, or else is equal the future value will increase or decrease if the time increases, and you can see that future value equal to present value times 1 plus the interest raised to the power t. Alright, so obviously if everything else is equal and time increases, the future value will have to increase, okay. It makes sense because if you have more time to earn interest in the future, you will receive more money, okay. Very simple. So the answer obviously is A. You have been offered a business opportunity that will pay you $25,000 in 5 years if you invest $10,000 today. What is the expected return on the investment? Okay, very simple. It is asking you for the interest. If you will receive 25,000 today and you invest $10,000 today, what is the return per year? So it is the interest rate per year equal to the future value, which is 25,000, divided by present value, which is 10,000. The whole thing raised to the power 1 over 5 and minus 1, and the answer is 0.2011 or equal to 20.11%, okay. So the return for your investment would be 20.11% if you invest $10,000 today and you receive $25,000 in 5 years. Alright, number 9, if everything else is equal, the present value will increase or decrease if the rate decreases, okay. You know that the present value is equal to the future value divided by 1 plus the interest rate raised to the power time. So obviously if the interest rate decreases, the denominator will decrease, so therefore the present value will increase, okay. The present value will have to increase, okay. Now, number 10. Number 10. Right, so you open a saving account 4 years ago and deposited $200 at that time. 3 years ago you added. Okay, so let's take a look at the picture. Um, 4 years ago you deposited $200. Okay, now 3 years ago, okay, you added another $400. Alright, and last year you deposited, or last year meaning, okay, in year 3 you deposited an additional $100. Okay, if the return is 5% compounded annually, how much is in your account today, which is in your, okay, which is time 4, how much you have today. So pretty simple. What you need to do is find out the future value for each of the cash flow over here. So if you deposited $200 4 years before, how much you have now? So it would be 200 times 1 plus the interest rate per year is 5%. So 200 times 1.05 raised to the power 4, because you have 4 years to earn interest, and this is equal to 200, okay, 43.10. Now $400 in year 1 will become, right, will become 400 times 1.05 raised to the power 3, because from year 1 to year 4 you have 3 years, and this is equal to 463.05. and the $100 in year 3 will become 100 times 1.05 and equal to 105. Okay, so in year 4 you will have the following: $105, you have 463.05, you have 243 and 10. So the total money you have is the sum of all this, and it is equal to, okay, all this will be equal to 811 and 15. Okay, so the future value at the end of year 4 will be the future value of 200 at the beginning, future value of 400 in year 1, and future value of 300 in year 3. Okay, and last question, number 11. Your grandmother deposited $1,000 in an account 15 years ago. Today it is worth $35.48. If the interest rate is compounded annually, what should be the return you have been earning on this? Alright, so we have done it before, 15 years ago. Okay, so $1,000 at the beginning, and now you have $35.48. What should be the return? The return is equal to future value, which is $35.48, divided by the present value, which is 1,000, raised to the power 1 over 15 and minus 1, and the answer is 0.0881, or equal to 8.81%. Alright. So what it means is, if you invest $1,000 today, and if the interest rate is 8.81%, after 15 years you will receive $48. Okay, so the questions in chapter 5 are pretty simple. You can easily do the homework for chapter 5. However, it is important that you understand the chapter 5 because it will be the foundation for more difficult chapters later on. Okay, so if you have any question, feel free to let me know. Okay, thank you.